Welcome, creative friends. Edna Eady here from The Creativity Activist. Today I'm bringing you both a haul and a class overview from my time engaging with Layle from Layle by Mail. This was one of the big draw cards for me, making the decision to choose the Crafter's Dream Retreat, Crafting Through the Holidays retreat, as the creative thing that I did when I went to America recently. I absolutely love Layle's work and the way that she engages with the paper crafting industry in a way that really suits how I utilise journaling in listing format. And so she was one of the teachers, which I was really stoked about. And as a result, I contacted her really early and said, will there be an opportunity to buy from your store and then pick it up at the retreat? And she was very obliging. She opened that up to everybody eventually, which I'm sure that's what she always does. But I got in really early. And my creative friend Sue also is obsessed with her products. So it was nice to be able to get a few things for her. This is her pile here. So the little books, the numbers, the stamped numbers, the journal, library card, and the glimmers and the matching die. They're the things that Sue ordered. I very rarely ever carry things for other people when I go overseas, but I was very happy to do that for Sue. Very similar taste, her and I. And then for myself, I got the travel icons, the camera icons, the book icons, and then I got the List Builders Bullets and More 2 and 3. So I was very happy. She's a small company and she obviously doesn't have great access to, budget shipping. So for me to have this shipped to Australia was $100 American. So it's not something that I'm going to invest in shipping wise. So it was great to be able to take advantage of having her go to this particular event that I was going to. I bought the passports and postcards die cuts, and I also bought the word strip stickers for that collection. They included a freebie, which happens to be Felicity Jane, one of my all-time favourite products that's no longer available. Of course, I had to buy the pin, and I also bought some of her small round stamping blocks. And I bought an idea book, and she signed it on the inside for me as well, which was very nice of her. And then the other thing that I bought from her are these pockets, which I really love her version of pockets. They're really well thought out for the sizes of things. So I bought a multi-pack which had 2 of this size, which holds the traveller's notebooks, and then 2 of the 13 by 13s. So I bought those, but I also scored a couple of other pockets from her as part of her class giveaways. So in the class, the format for this retreat was there was 3 teachers, 3 classes, and then each of these teachers on the cropping day did a little extra. Take and make, they called it. And so for her take and make, it came in a bag, which was very cool. And then we made this little library pocket. So that's one of her library pockets that my friend Sue bought, the library card that goes in the library pocket. And then this is a die that makes this library pocket, and the little papers. So that's going to go in the journal that I made as well. But that came in this little bag, so that was like a little extra from her. And then the make itself on the day was this traveller's notebook and the inserts. And I can tell you, I was so pleased I didn't buy this one because I was umming and ahhing about it because it was part of the class. So very happy to have that. Now the class came with some very descriptive notes and some ideas for using traveller's notebooks. I already use traveller's notebooks and I already list, so this was not new to me, but I understand it was new to many of the participants. And then it came with a whole heap of product, most of which I used. It was mixed American craft type papers, Maggie Holmes stationery set. Layle also has little stamps to put in your journal, so I went off and stamped off some of those. But really, that's all I had left. and her class came in one of these large pockets, so I got an extra one of those. And you also got this stamp set as part of the class. So that's great to be able to have that. It stamps really beautifully. So that was exciting. I can't tell you how happy I was to do her class. Very excited, very happy with the end product. You also got this washi tape as part of the class, and then you got some charms to put on the outside of your notebook. One's a bee and one's a bow. And then the notebook itself, oh, this is just high quality stuff, people. Absolutely loved it. Loved everything about meeting her, doing her class. So we actually put together 4 inserts to go into the notebook itself, which I'll talk through. And then we had the notebook itself to decorate. So some of these we made, and the others we decorated products that are available in her store. So let's just go through those one by one. So the first thing is she uses a standard wide notebook as her standard notebook. So each of those are made in that size. But the first thing she talked everybody through is decorating the pocket. So this is like credit card slot pockets on this side. So there's stamping on some of the bits and pieces. She uses a lot of outlining. Some of that I haven't done on the inserts yet, but I will go ahead and do that. But just decorating that pocket is one of her trademark features. And then this is a standard wide notebook that she stocks in her store, and it has a craft cover and then lines, and she just talked people through how to put this slip cover on, and it's done with washi tape, so you can swap it out if you choose to. And then everything else in here is about using the stamps and the little pieces of ephemera to decorate the book. Lots of little technique walkthroughs, so pockets and edged pages, little pages that you make the sides different layers, so they're like waterfalls. Oh, I forgot the name for that, but you know, those half doors, what are they called? Oh, I can't remember it, but you get the gist. And then just walking through different layers in the books, stamping down the edges, making pockets out of the ephemera, all sorts of little layered pockets. Lots of fun walking through all of that. You went through tip-ins, how to make tip-ins. You went through most of this in the class. Waterfall features, and then plenty more to do in the rest of that book. So that was the first thing that we did, and most of that you got done in class, but certainly some of this you finished at the end of the day because every night you had crop time. And then she has these little notebooks that say "Today I am grateful for" at the top, because she focused on Thanksgiving and being grateful as her class. And in this book we used a lot of the ephemera from the stationery set from one of the Maggie Holmes collections. So it had a lot of these vellum stickers in it, which are really nice in a notebook, and some stamping. Lots of little paper snips and stamping. Really lovely. I took just 2 colours inks apart from the black. So mine focused on yellow, which is my creative colour, and I had a grey and a black. Overlaying some of the stickers, some stamping down the edge here. So yeah, it was a fun sort of exercise that you could then go and just make the pages your own, but I pretty much followed the format that she did. Lots of every one of the stamps on the stamp set we used somewhere throughout this class, which was great. And here's the grey and the yellow ink together on that page. And yeah, it just goes on and on. Loved this bee. And my new friend Debbie, who sat beside me, she is known as the queen bee in her family, so that was a nice little anecdote. Really loved layering up the stickers, doing the stamping in different colours. It was just really lovely. Not necessarily something that I was learning lots of new things, but I was refreshing my memory on lots of techniques and really just enjoying the notion of listing and journaling, which I really, really loved. And then she took everybody through how to make their own little pocket folio out of one piece of paper and edging it with the washi tape. And then we made this little junk journal. I chose the front that had the silver on it, but you could choose the gold. And then just using the papers from the collection, well, it's not a collection, but it's the papers that she put together for this class, and then overlaying papers and stickers throughout. So in the class itself, you constructed the book and you sewed it together, and then you had time later on to go in and put all the ephemera pieces on, and lots of little fold outs and really just pockets and layering up all the ephemera that you received as part of your kit. I did a standard pamphlet stitch on mine, and I've left these loose so I can go and put some dangles on the end. But yeah, this is just a little notebook, junk journal style, and it made up the fourth element in the work that Layle took us all through. Thoroughly enjoyed the class. She's a really process-driven teacher. Lots of really clear instructions and encouragement for everybody. An absolute delight of a human being. I'm really chuffed that I got to take a class with her and that I got to meet her and have a few conversations with her. Definitely one of the highlights of both the retreat and my time in America. So thank you, Layle, for all that you bring to the paper crafting industry and community. I really appreciate it, and I know that other people do too. Hope you enjoyed the little walkthrough of class number 1 for this event for me. I'll bring you some more in the coming days. Enjoy.